has taken over. Let's go. It's Ferrall. Coast to coast. Steaks, chicks, stacks. You and I are going to make a lot of money. It's Ferrall, coast to coast.
Speaking of legends, Denny Bernstein's here from the fourth period in NHL Radio on Sirius XM. My favorite hockey guy running now. Now that I've lost Mike Lang, I have nothing left but you. You're the only hero I got left in hockey. You're the only true blue, badass hockey expert and analyst and fan of anyone I know. And you know I mean that. And you know what else? Yeah. You know I nicknamed you Elvis because of Mike Lang. I mean, all of that is because of Mike Lang. And, you know, like last night, I think I reached out to you or something. You reached out to me, whatever it was. I was so devastated. I still am. I said earlier on the show today, I want to die. Like it killed me that he died. And I know everybody dies. I've seen everyone pass. I keep getting older and I lose all my friends and family and you name it. But I got to tell you, that one really stung because there's no one I thought more of than Mike Lang.
We lost a legend, Scotty, without question. I know what he meant to you. I mean, I know the connection, the Pittsburgh connection. I told you a story off air. You know, the Penguins came through Los Angeles. I'm based in Los Angeles once a year. And he was such a legend way back in the day when I started this, the first 2 years. I couldn't even go up to the guy and say hello. I'm like, that's Mike Lang, you know? And finally, the third year, I went up and said hello. And I know he's a gracious guy, but, you know, on the cusp of what we have, hopefully he's one of the biggest hockey games in a very long time. The passing of Mike, it makes tonight bittersweet, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I think they'll certainly honor him at the game tonight, and they'll have a moment of silence for him for sure, and they'll show him on the Jumbotron. I think that you know what's weird about him was that you know, I've always tried to be like him. He was the most humble guy you ever met in your life. Like, I'm not saying I'm humble, but I've always believed that I never mattered. I've always believed that I was just good at what I do and that the show was cool. I was pretty big in my career. I've been syndicated nationally for over 35 years. I've always been blessed and lucky to be at such a high level in the business. I really have. And I never thought I mattered. I just thought I was a cool guy that did a cool show and people dug it and it crossed generations. And when you met Mike, and anyone that met him, he was so nice and so humble. He didn't care if you were homeless or rich. He didn't care what color you were. He didn't care if you were a baby. He was nice to everybody. He never acted like he was this living legend, which is exactly what he was.
No question. And Scotty, that's why I cover this game, because of the people like Mike Lang. He enriched everybody. And you're right. He was generous with his time. If you were just starting out or, you know, so established like you, it didn't matter. He was happy to talk to you, talk hockey. So it's a big loss. It really, really is. And I'm just lucky that I got to know him a little bit. And I know the relationship you had with him. I'm sure you're crushed right now. And hopefully we have a great game in his memory tonight.
You know, I also contributed to both of our alcoholism. I have never drank more booze than I have with him than with anyone ever. I mean, that guy, he was so much fun to go drinking with. You have no idea how funny he was. He was just it was like he was like not even real. He was so real. He was so
larger than life, Scotty. A great storyteller.
I mean, he would tell stories. When we would go out after hours drinking, and he would tell me stories that lasted a lifetime with me, a lifetime. When I listened to his play-by-play today, last night, I did it for an hour and a half last night and an hour this morning. I listened to all these great games he called, and I was gushing. I was literally gushing. My wife's like, "What's wrong with you?" And I'm like, "Shut up! You have no idea. Stay out of this." And then that's how much he meant to me. All right, so let's talk about the game tonight. It's the worst thing ever that Mike Lang's gone. I think it's bad for business. Let me just say this. Tonight, I just want to tell you how much I hate Canadians.
Okay. You're allowed. Scotty, here's how important this game is. I've been doing this for 25 years. I have, including you, I have 6 requests to talk about this game before the game starts. I've never had that many requests. This has morphed into something way, way bigger than the NHL, NHLPA ever thought it would be, without question.
It's bigger than, it really is bigger than anything I've seen in the NHL in a long time. Like, this is not an exhibition. This is not just another game. This is the Cold War. I mean, it really is. Like, there is a lot of tension between Canada and the United States, politically speaking. And in hockey, no one can even fathom that the U.S. beat them. And then they beat them in Montreal, where they spent days booing them and hating us and vilifying us. And now they're playing in the Garden in Boston tonight. I have a feeling they're going to get a taste of their own medicine. But I still think that Canadian team can win this game. Morency thinks it's 3-0 Canada.
Well, there's one big advantage Canada has, the health. Both Kachucks are banged up. Austin Matthews is banged up. No Charlie McAvoy. Look, U.S. has an advantage in net and on the blue line. The forwards are certainly going to be that. And Scott, for people who think it's a made-up tournament, it's been overtaken by politics, go watch Connor McDavid's first goal on Saturday night and look at the celebration. And you tell me this is a made-up tournament that nobody cares about. That's such BS. Like, this is so important to these guys. They've waited 9 years since 2016 World Cup of Hockey to play in this tournament. This is a special night. And I can't wait for Todd Angeli, the big guy who's a bartender here at TD Garden, to sing the national anthem. It's going to be an explosive night to start. I don't think there's going to be 3 fights in 9 seconds, but this is very, very meaningful. Because you know what, Scotty? People that never watched sports will watch this game tonight. It's not just the casual fan or the casual hockey fan. People who never turn on a sporting event, I bet you will turn on this event tonight.
Oh, I think they will too. So because of all those injuries and banged up players, are you leaning Canada?
No, because I'm playing the under. And here's why. Jack Eichel, Austin Matthews, Dylan Larkin, and Vinny Trocheck down the middle. So it's like every other hockey game. You win down the middle and you win with goaltending. They have the better goaltender. And go watch the game again from Saturday. The U.S. played great defense. The zone entries, they couldn't get through. Now, Cale Makar's going to play tonight. That's going to make a difference. But I think the defensive effort by Jack Eichel and Austin Matthews on the top two. And we have Dylan Larkin, who's a star, playing your third-line center. Like, you got a legit shot. This is a 2-1 game again, Scotty. This is not going to be a high-scoring game. And you got to hope, if you're rooting for Canada, that Bennington doesn't give up a softie. And if he does, you're going to lose the game. Look, Gabe might be right, and they could absolutely win. This is a toss-up game, Scotty, because they're not much separating the team, because they have advantages, like I mentioned, the forwards and the health of Canada, but the blue line and goaltending for the U.S.
So, you were around Bob Miller, and we talked about Rick Jeanneret earlier on the show. I stand by what I say, that Lang was the best play-by-play guy ever in the NHL because of his entertainment side of his game calls, his shtick, his lines, all of his one-liners. And I thought, and I said this earlier today when I was on in Pittsburgh, I think he's the most entertaining play-by-play guy in any sport I've ever seen. And I liked Harry Carey, and I really liked Howard Cosell. I thought he was smarter than everyone. I think today in the league, there is no one even remotely. And I love Joe Benintendi. I constantly have him on this show. I love a lot of guys, but no one can hold Lang's jock. That's it.
Yeah,
no one's even close.
The thing, Scotty, TSN, the Canadian network, had a top 10 Mike Lang calls. That says it all. Like, who else? What broadcast has top 10 SportsCenter calls in Canada?
Listen, you're the best, Elvis. Enjoy the game, and I love you.
Love you, baby. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks.
So my team didn't win this weekend, but I still did with this app that's taking over the game. Sports Millions Pick'em lets you make quick and easy predictions. Pick your favorite players, go higher or lower, and you can still win big even if your team loses. Plus, the multiplier is insane. With just a few picks, you can win big money. So get on it. They've got a welcome bonus to help you start off your winning streak.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
The two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take. Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity. I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What?
How do you do this once?
Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
All right, we're talking to the Prime Minister off of the Elvis interview. He was in Boston, by the way, right there, getting ready to go to the Garden tonight for the Four Nations Championship game between the U.S. and Canada. So let's talk more about it. Here is Brandon Hagel, of course, talking about the fight that he had with Matty Tkachuk.
No, I think it's going to be the same way. I think it's two countries. I mean, listen, what happened the other night, I think I did it for the flag and not for the cameras.
Okay, yeah. And then here's Matty Tkachuk, what he thinks of Hagel.
I mean, maybe their team doesn't like each other then if they don't have group chats, but I think that that's just a player, and enjoying those opportunities. So I think that our team does not care about anything that they say, and there's been a lot of chatter and talk from individuals, but we care about one thing in this room, and we have millions of people that are watching us and supporting us around this country, and we're very prideful in playing for them and the guys in the room. So it's an opportunity of a lifetime for us.
Let's just get real here. If you lose, it's going to suck.
Yeah, more than that, Scott. And I'll tell you, I got to give Hagel respect, though. This guy, and Lightning and Panther, Bernstein will tell you, these guys hate each other, like Leafs Canadians and Leafs Bruins type of thing. The rivalries too. Like, it's one of those situations, though. Hagel's not even a fighter, and he stepped up and he fought. That's how much this tournament means to these guys right now. I don't think we're going to see, shenanigans off the top, like 3 fights in 9 seconds. But I'm going to tell you, Scott, I can't wait for this game. The anticipation of this thing. And Morency was on earlier, and he was right. If Canada loses this game tonight, there's a serious problem. They've already didn't go far in the juniors. There's a lot of things. Everybody's catching up, even on the women's side. So USA wins tonight, it's going to be very, very bad. The Prime Minister is going to have to do damage control. There's going to be a lot of anger.
Damage control. The bars will be empty, and
win or lose, hit the booze. But hey, Vancouver, remember they burned down the city. If Canada loses tonight,
that's not cool though. How much of a tool have to be
I agree.
to lose. I get it. Losing sucks. I've lost a lot of championship games. It sucks. You never forget it. It's torture. But I have never once in my life, I've lost all kinds of title games in basketball. I've never once gone out, start setting everything on fire. Like,
no, it's ridiculous.
Like, what is wrong with people? They did that in Vancouver. It was embarrassing.
I was there. I was covering it for the Score. We were doing Journey to the Stanley Cup, and I was right in the middle of that riot, and Morency will tell you about it too. It was absolutely madness, insane. Like, we thought we could have died. It got stupid. But I'm going to tell you this. I've always respected the fact that, you don't talk to your best friend in a tournament. At the end, you can go and have a cold beer. That's what it's all about. Let's just leave it on the ice, no friendship, and whatever happens at the end, make the better team win. Should be a great game tonight.
Well, in the Stanley Cup playoffs, everybody shakes hands after the series ends. Why would you, as fans, go out and destroy the city that you live in and that you love? It makes zero sense to me. Quinn Hughes won't join Team USA for the final game. I'm sick of hearing about Quinn Hughes. Honestly, I have never seen anything so ridiculous as they have talked about this guy for 3 days now, and he's not even on the team. Canada, U.S., and the four nations. We got the odds for you now. Let's look at the odds. Obviously, it's the same as it's been since Saturday. It's a pick 'em.
Scott, on one of my books, they have a boost, and I'm starting to wonder because they're always sucker bets. They offered Canada plus 150. I had to max it out, so I'm on Canada. I think it's going to be a great game. The fact that they lost the first time, you guys have a significant edge in goaltending with Hellebuck over Binnington, but Binnington has won in this building, Stanley Cup Game 7 for St. Louis over Boston, 4-2 Canada with an empty netter. That's where I'm going with this game tonight. Exact score.
All right, let's look at the who will score in the game tonight at the Garden in Boston. We'll put it up. We got all the goal scorers. There you go. McKinnon, Matthews, McDavid, Point Hughes, Jack Hughes, of course, Matty Tkachuk, Jake Gensel, and Brady Tkachuk. Gensel scored 2 in the game on Saturday. Do you like him at all?
I do.
For the U.S., or who are you looking at here? Obviously, Connor McDavid. He scores all these goals. McKinnon, who do you like?
Great call, Scott. Connor McDavid has scored the first goal the last 2 games. Let's make it 3 in a row. First goal and anytime goal. These are nuts. And during the regular season, when he's playing with the Oilers, you're laying 40 cents. Now you're getting 220. As for Team USA, you know what I love about Jake Gensel? He shoots the damn puck. He doesn't screw around with it. Over 3 shots for Gensel at plus money, and anytime goal for the Americans. Jake Gensel. Done.
So Carver High took the USA and the under, and I'm scared to death of Canada, and I go to Canada, to Toronto a lot, as you know, and I love Canada. And I refuse to bet on the game tonight because Mike Lang died, and I just can't take the stress. I was so mad that Mike Lang died today. So I have to wear this heart monitor because I had open heart surgery, and I have this heart monitor on. And literally, when I did the show in Pittsburgh, until we got done with the opening on this show, it was setting off warnings that I was having, my blood pressure and my heart rate was exceeding my limits of what I'm allowed. So I got so worked up talking about Mike Lang dying, and so worked up at the beginning of the show, I was dripping, and my heart monitor was giving me warnings that I was going to die. I also said today that I wanted to die because Mike Lang died. So other props: will there be a goal in the first 10 minutes? Will the game go to overtime? Total team goals for Canada, you said 4. For the U.S., you said 2. But will there be a goal in the first 10 minutes? I say yes. Will the game go to overtime?
It could. I like 4-2, but I know a lot of people like 3-2, either U.S. or Canada there. Great number by the book, setting it at 5.5, because I know a lot of people think there's going to be 5 goals scored in this game. I think there's going to be 6 with an empty netter, Scott, but I'm sticking to my guns. 4-2 Canada, and I think I'm going to go with McDavid to score the first goal.
And I say 3-3, and it does go to overtime, and someone wins 4-3, and it'll be plus 320. I'll go there, but I'm unwilling. I already took Canada in game 1 and took it in the arse. I'm scared to take them again, even though I think they can win. I want the USA to win. I may just have to drink a lot of rum.
Yeah.
Duke the 1, Houston the 2. They're the two best defensive teams in the country. I want to see them play for the right to go to the Final Four because I think that would be a kick-ass game.
Duke is really great on both ends of the floor. You know, they can score and they can defend, and that's why they win by big numbers all the time, because they're really good on both ends of the floor. I don't trust Houston's offense.
Ferrall Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
I talked about AZ Fudd a lot, folks, and said when she got back from that knee injury, remember, it's the second ACL tear she's had in her career, that she was going to be a difference maker. UConn is plus 330. They're not going to get challenged again in the Big East until they come out of conference play in a conference tournament. I still like them at plus 330 to win a national championship.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
I feel when I look at this Arizona team, I don't take them serious as a national title threat because you're asking Caleb Love to bottle magic that I just don't even think exists.
4.4, 6.6, 7.4, 7.7, 7.8. This guy is literally taking, he'll shoot you out of games, Kevin.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
Two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun. I had to do a triple take. Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity. I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What?
How do you do this one?
Oh, Donnie, you've got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Obviously, I'm dedicating the show today to the memory of my dear friend Mike Lang, who passed away yesterday at 76 after a long illness. The legendary Hall of Fame voice of the Pittsburgh Penguins, my hero, my everything in broadcasting, the guy that I wanted to be and I looked up to more than anyone in the world, is gone too soon, and he was a keeper. I mean, he was one gem. I'm telling you, people just absolutely, gravitated toward him. He was one of a kind. They just simply don't make him like him anymore. Nope. All right, the Prime Minister's with us today, despite all of the tension between the United States and Canada. He was willing to let that go for 2 days and broadcast with us on Coast to Coast because we're such good friends. Other than that, he hates Americans in general as a whole.
Screw the tariffs. Can't we just play hockey? Let's go. Drop the damn puck.
All right. So here we go with the NHL's best and worst money line teams. Can we show the best and worst? Here they are, and I'll let Cam react.
Unbelievable. The Washington Capitals lead the President's Trophy right now. 0 players in the 4 nations. Go figure. I know some of them are Russian players. Ducks, love taking them, especially as a home dog. The Winnipeg Jets, huge game tonight, Scotty. Let's talk about it. Hellebuck, what has he done in the playoffs? Gagged. USA beats Canada tonight, and he stands on his head. That bodes very well for the Winnipeg Jets finally doing something and not gagging in the playoffs. The Blue Jackets, to me, one of the most shocking stories. Every year it's the same thing. What do? The Buffalo Sabres score first couple goals, bet the other team. The Rangers is a little bit shocking, but I think they'll get it together. The Sharks, sometimes they're a good dog, but they can also get murdered. And the Predators, to me, Scott, the biggest disappointment in hockey so far. They were making a move. Oh, I thought this team, I'm not going to lie to you, I actually thought they had a chance to go to the Stanley Cup Finals. And I couldn't be more wrong about the Nashville Predators. A lot of hockey left, but man, that's what a decline.
Let's look at the best over and under teams now in the NHL.
Sabres. Hey, the Sabres, what do? They score first, win the first period, and lose 7-5. That's what you do, Buffalo. Buffalo overs because they got crap goaltending defense and they score goals. The Blue Jackets, man, they got a lot of great young players on their team. Fantilli's an absolute stud. Panthers, yes, they score a lot. Blackhawks, Again, a team that could score, no defense, and goaltending. Best under teams. That's interesting. You know what? Sheldon Keefe bringing his defensive approach. He wanted to do with the Leafs, doing it better with the Devils right now. Very interesting. The New Jersey Devils and Utah, one of those teams, Scott, I love taking the unders because they just suck and they don't score goals.
Yeah, I'm obviously it's a little braille for me. I can't.
Yeah, no, I got great vision. Can you believe that stuff? Like I'm turning 50 and
like
I can see those stuff.
Superman.
Oh no, dude. My doctor goes, "What is up with you? You got your insides, your leg, your back, everything sucks, but your eyes are fantastic."
I think I can actually see that. It's the last two is that the Blues and Wild, and above them is Utah, and then the Kings and Flames. But I had to actually, and what this is even worse, is that I did it by lowering my glasses and looking without my glasses. Meanwhile, I can't see anything without my glasses. I got progressives. I got distance, middle, and up close. I can't see anything, but I could actually read the Braille with my blind eye. Which is my basketball eye. I don't wear glasses when I play basketball, and it doesn't bother me. I can see.
I got diabetes, but I got better than 20/20 vision.
Whoa.
Go figure.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
I hope that they don't cut off your foot like LeVar Ball. I think that he had like a. He might have had diabetes or something because he got.
If I kept on drinking a case of steam whistles and 4 liters of Coke a night, they're going to cut off everything. So we have to make some adjustments to our lives. I still drink, but very low sugar red wines. That's the key. And drinks that are clear. Avoid the brown liquors. What do we got, Ferrall?
And then drink Coke Zero. So will the over catch Gretzky before this season? I think he meant Ovi. Will Ovi catch? Will he have the 15 goals or not?
No, he will not. Ovi's probably, having a good time during this break. I don't know. Those guys like to get into the Stoli when they're not playing hockey, but the answer is no at minus 260.
You say he's not going to do it?
Nope. He's got to be on there. You know what the thing is, though? He gets a lot of garbage goals, but my answer is no. He will not get there.
I'll bet Saturday he has a couple, maybe a Hattie against the Penguins. They're awful. So when we come back, we'll look at more NHL stuff, the division leaders, odds to win the Stanley Cup, etc. And then later we'll get into the NBA and that Hornets win last night. LaMelo was going off in LA at the crib. Duke the 1, Houston the 2. They're the 2 best defensive teams in the country. I want to see them play for the right to go to the Final Four because I think that would be a kick-ass game.
Duke is really great on both ends of the floor. They can score and they can defend, and that's why they win by big numbers all the time because they're really good on both ends of the floor. I don't trust Houston's offense.
Ferrall Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
I talked about AZ Fudd a lot, folks, and said when she got back from that knee injury, remember, it's the second ACL tear she's had in her career, that she was going to be a difference maker. UConn is plus 330. They're not going to get challenged again in the Big East until they come out of conference play in a conference tournament. I still like them at plus 330 to win a national championship.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
I feel when I look at this Arizona team, I don't take them serious as a national title threat because you're asking Caleb Love to bottle magic that I just don't even think exists.
4.4, 6.6, 7.4, 7.7, 7.8. This guy is literally he'll shoot you out of games, Kevin.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
2 guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take. Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity. I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results.
What? How do you do this one?
Oh, Donnie, you've got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
So one last NHL story. The league recently met with a group interested in bringing an expansion team to New Orleans. And I have gone on record this week as saying, we were just there, SportsGrid, setting the bar at the Super Bowl Radio Row for SB 59 with the Eagles and Kansas City Chiefs. And I said when we got back, not when I was there, but I said when we got back, I said, look, I can't even believe they have an NBA team there because it's an awful team. I think it's an awful franchise. I think they've screwed everything up. They've screwed up Zion Williamson. They've screwed up Anthony Davis. What haven't they screwed up? And secondly, let's just face facts. It's a very dangerous place. It's I think Bourbon Street, it is what it is, but it's actually hell on earth. It's, I walked outside my hotel in 30 seconds. I saw fentanyl, cocaine, prostitution, heroin. I saw people going to the bathroom right in the middle of the street. I saw giant horses crapping all over the street. I saw them dragging people by handcuffs by the ends of horses and ropes. I thought I was in a bad movie. I just do not believe that it's a safe place. And I know people love the Crescent City. I know they love the Jazz, and the food is absolutely remarkable. The restaurants there are second to none. It's just fantastic food. But when it comes to sports, I have to be honest. I believe that the Saints should be there and nothing else.
Couldn't agree more. You said it perfectly, Scott. New Orleans, beautiful cafes, great people, but, murder capital, very dangerous. You don't want to get off the main areas. You're a dead man. It's just that simple. It really sucks because it has the history. And Gabe brought up a great point, very similar to the French Quarter, like Montreal, the old cobblestone and stuff. It's beautiful, but the violence and the problems down there, it's unbelievable. And by the way, NHL, you're talking about New Orleans. That's one of the worst ideas I've ever heard. Literally, Kansas City, Cleveland, if you weren't going to do the States. And what about Quebec City? Really, are you going to spit in these guys' faces some more?
That
really?
was great.
You take away the Nordiques, you're talking about getting a hockey team in New Orleans? You can't even get a basketball team to work. Who the hell? What is this expansion? Oh, we got to go down here and there and there and there. It's just, man, that idea sucks. If I was in the boardroom, Scott, I'd throw water on the guy, coffee. Say, you're fired.
They've already expanded so many times. Yes. I feel like a Band-Aid. I don't even need any more teams in the NHL. Let's go to the NBA now. The Hornets won last night in L.A. against the Lakers, 197. The Lakers were up 11 at the break. Hornets outscored them by 14 in the third. Bridges had 29. I think LaMelo Ball's a badass. He had 27. Mark Williams had 10 and 9 boards. He's the guy that was going to be a Laker, but they rescinded the deal. LeBron had 26. It doesn't matter. They lost. Luka had 14, 11, and 8. Almost a trip dub, but almost doesn't count. Here's LaMelo Ball attacking the rim on Spectrum Sportsnet.
Guys that handle the ball, handle pressure. He does a great job of getting to the paint and that little floater up and in to give the Hornets a 4-point lead with 14 seconds left to play.
So I knew that he had had the ankle problems. I didn't even know he was playing. If I would have known he was playing, I probably would have taken the points because whenever LaMelo Ball plays, the Hornets are a good team. When he plays with Bridges and Williams, they're a good team, and they cover, and they can win, and he can get hot and beat you, and that's exactly what he did last night. I thought he was still injured. I'm not even kidding. So here's the other thing. Redick talking about no offense. The Lakers admitted they never wanted to play this game to begin with.
But, overall, I think we played, I don't even know, 39 to 44 minutes of pretty poor offense. And some of that's to be expected. Some of it was sloppiness. Some of it was poor spacing. Some of it was poor execution. I'm not going to The reason I'm not going to read too much into that is because I think our guys competed tonight and they played extremely hard. I also think Charlotte played very sloppy. I'm not. That's not to make an excuse. That's just the reality of just having 6 days off as a group and trying to integrate new pieces, and that happens sometimes. I've been part of those first games after All-Star break when they're humming and things are good, and I've been part of them when they've been sloppy like they were tonight.
Well, it's either or, right?
Our effort and competitive spirit was good enough to win. We were really poor offensively for 90% of the game.
Thank God it ended finally. Just a shout out to my guy Mo, who I met today at the Home Depot. Right after I saw Mo, a fan of SportsGrid and Coast to Coast, I got in the car and I noticed that Wemby was done for the year with a blood clot in his shoulder. I almost drove off the road. So much for those Defensive Player of the Year awards and those tickets that I thought I was going to cash. That's as bad as when I had Embiid for $300,000 and it didn't cash. Wembanyama's not going to be the Defensive Player of the Year because he's finished. What do you think of the news of Wemby's blood clot?
It's insanity. Like, it's almost these stories come out, Scott, and I don't think they're real. Like when Doncic got traded to the Lakers, I thought it was some kind of joke. Because everything a lie on Twitter or AI or whatever. But wow, yeah, right. Think about how many tickets. I can tell you one thing, Scott. Let's cue it forward to the curtain behind in the room in the sports book. Cognacs and cigars. Well, we saved one, boys. Think about how many tickets they had on Victor. You said it right there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. So AD's still going to be out 2 more weeks. Bobby Portis now suspended 25 games, a positive drug test. He thought his assistant was giving him a pain reliever, Toradol, but apparently it was Tramadol, which is an opioid pain reliever, and everybody loves Tramadol. I love the excuses, but have you ever noticed this guy when he plays? I mean, have you ever seen his eyes? I mean, this guy looks like he's on about 5 8-balls. He's so lit when he plays. He's ripped out of his mind. They love him in Milwaukee, but now we know he's on the full leaded. He's on the full leaded. He's juiced.
That's the best. So you're telling me you don't know the difference Toradol and Tramadol? Like they're different. Like I think what? Anyway, Razapam,
Toradol's for wussies. Tramadol's big boys.
Yeah, Tramadol, opioid pains. I'll tell you that's. I don't even know what to say. Scott, here's another thing too. We're not stupid. Like, I think, a lot of the time when the drug tests are coming, so like, get smarter, stupid. Like, it's one of those situations, like, usually in the leagues, don't you get some kind of head up? They're not like, hey, man, you're getting a drug test tomorrow. Like,
I gotta be honest with you. Now, no one's going to like hearing this, but when you play in the NFL and you play in the NHL and you, frankly, play in the NBA, as violent as they are, and I think the NBA is the least violent of those three sports, I believe that, and I'm going to say this unequivocally, if you want to take a painkiller, go ahead.
Yeah.
Like, I honestly, like, are you kidding me with the hits that NHL players take and they want them to, and they're not allowed to take painkillers? Are you kidding me? Like, oh, everybody's addicted to pain. Everyone's addicted to, you know what people are addicted to is gambling.
Wow. Drop the mic. You're absolutely right. And I'm with you too. Like think about the chronic injuries you have.
If I take a painkiller, if I take a painkiller, I don't take 90 of them.
Exactly.
Now, if you take 90 of them, then you got a problem. But if you're in agony and you take a painkiller after an NFL game, who gives a rat's ass?
I agree.
When I did a story this week that 23% the spike in gambling addiction, 23% year to year. It's out of control. I mean, nobody wants to talk about that around here, but it is scary, it is dangerous, and it is reality. That's a problem.
I got to tell you, Scott, you can't watch a game in Canada. All it is prescriptions for Wegovy, diabetes medications, pills, and gambling. That's all they got. They're the only ones who can afford commercial times these days. Everything's run by gambling, buddy. Everything.
And I'm lowering my risk. Duke the 1, Houston the 2. They're the two best defensive teams in the country. I want to see them play for the right to go to the Final Four because I think that would be a kick-ass game.
Duke is really great on both ends of the floor. You know, they can score and they can defend, and that's why they win by big numbers all the time, because they're really good on both ends of the floor. I don't trust Houston's offense.
Ferrall Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
I talked about AZ Fun a lot, folks, and said when she got back from that knee injury, remember, it's the second ACL tear she's had in her career, that she was going to be a difference maker. UConn is plus 330. They're not going to get challenged again in the Big East until they come out of conference play in the conference tournament. I still like them at plus 330 to win a national championship.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
I feel when I look at this Arizona team, I don't take them serious as a national title threat because you're asking Caleb Love to bottle magic that I just don't even think exists.
4.4, 6.6, 7.4, 7.7, 7.8. This guy is literally taking, he'll shoot you out of games, Kevin.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
Two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take. Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity. I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What?
How do you do this one?
Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
So here's another one for you, proof in the pudding. So Javonte Green wants to leave the Pelicans, and he's going to sign with the Cavs after the Pelicans buy him out and he clears waivers. He's averaging, 5, 3, and 1. He sucks. He's second in blocks and steals on the Pelicans. It doesn't matter. There is no one, I honestly, that wants to stay on that team in that city. I guarantee you, unequivocally, that Zion Williams wants out of there. Like, he's already called him. He's like, I don't play back-to-back. Ask them. They're the ones that baby me. They're the ones that won't let me play back-to-back. He goes, I'm ready to go every night. And they won't let me play, these people. So blame them. Don't call me a wussy. Blame them. That's a guy that wants out of there. He wants out of there so bad. I think he'd sign with the Knicks for the minimum. Literally to get out of there. And I think
we'll talk about
no one wants to be on that team. It's a disaster, that franchise. It's all the proof you need that they don't need an NHL team down there. They're lucky they have the Saints. And that guy, Kellen Moore, he's dead meat down there.
Oh, I couldn't agree more. I think with Carolina getting better, and the Saints are in big trouble. To your point, Scott, we'll talk about it. Cleveland is a very interesting team. Talk about Boston at the top of the food chain. We'll go over it. But Cleveland and the New York Knicks, teams to be feared.
Well, without a doubt, but both of them will get their ass beat by the Celtics. When they want to play, they will beat ass any team in the East. They'll beat them down. In fact, it's going to take a hell of an effort. We already saw it last year. Dallas got swept. Okay? We talk about how great the Wild Wild West is. I don't deny Thunder, Rockets, Grizzlies, Nuggets, Lakers, Mavs. I don't deny they're all good, but Boston's better. Boston is so deep and so dangerous and shoots the ball so well and rebounds and gets second chances. They get more offensive board putback dunks than any team in the league. Their bench is better than most Western teams' starting five. And I'm not tripping. Now, here's other news. The Grizzlies say Ja is not available and is not getting traded. And I said that from the jump. How stupid would you have to be to trade that guy? I don't care what he did with guns. He's young and he's explosive and he's incredible and he's an amazing talent and he's their best player. And they just are idiots if they get rid of him. They're just asking for problems if they get rid of John Morant. The fact of the matter is they need to keep Jaren Jackson Jr. That's just all there is to it. The rest of the team, they could all go down the toilet. NBA national TV viewership is down 5% year over year, entering the second half of the season. It's true. Finally, someone telling it like it is that the NBA ratings suck because the NBA regular season sucks. The All-Star game averaged 4.7 million viewers, the second least watched game on record. The viewership was down 13% from last year. I don't know how many times I have to say this week. That event was an abortion, and it was boring, and it's not basketball. I have never in my life seen 3 games that they stopped 50 times to run
comedy shows.
Kevin Hart comedy stand-up. Like, it was the worst. It was the worst idea in television history. Adam Silver and his minions should be ashamed of themselves for thinking that they were entertaining us. What they were doing was upsetting us. We want to watch ball. We're not there to watch that little dude with his crappy jokes that doesn't make anybody laugh.
Yep.
You know, he's not funny anymore. He does so much stuff. He is on so many things that he's been saturated. I'm sick of him.
You know what it's called, Scott?
Snoop. I'm sick of the Kelsey brothers. I'm sick of the Mannings. Quit shoving people up our arses.
Oh, you mean Eli saved King's Hawaiian Slider Day? Anyway, all these guys will show up to the opening of an envelope. That's all you need to know, and I'm with you, Scott. I couldn't agree with that statement more. Hey, the G League stars, actually, Gabe and I talked about it. That was the only damn good part of this thing, but they got to change it. USA versus the world, figure something out. It's not working, and you're right. Get these guys who are on a million commercials out of my life. We see them enough.
Here's the best thing I saw yesterday was when Angel Reese came out with all the things that she's going to accomplish in life, and she's going to win everything, every award, every championship, going to be the greatest player, MVP of everything. And then Kevin Love said, I got the under. That was just awesome.
I love Kevin Love. That's fantastic. And
that was fantastic.
I mean? No, he is awesome. And the thing is, Angel Reese, she's a great player, but she's always like negative to everybody else all the time. Always like, you know what I mean? Like, just, like, it's called, it's ridiculous. Like, it's like, you know, you got all these other.
That's the bottom line, is what I just said. That she can't fathom that Caitlin Clark is 500 times bigger than her. She just can't fathom it, and it drives her nuts. She doesn't sleep at night over it, but she's still making tons of money doing endorsements, commercials, McDonald's, everything else. But Kevin Love, I'll take the under. That was great. I mean, that really was the line of the year so far. I mean, honestly. Can we look at the NBA East standings after the first game of the second half? The East standings. I can look at that in Braille. The Celtics are going to win.
Wow, that's even for my better than 20/20 vision. What am I? I need lasers here. I got Cleveland. Scotty, I'm going to tell you something though. I know Boston. If Cleveland can get any type of defense, the thing about Boston too, like, can they consistently just hit every shot? Like, can anybody take these guys down? The problem with the Knicks is Thibodeau will run them into the ground.
Over a 7-game series, they are going to break you down and beat you. The Cavs might win a game. They might win 2. They're not winning 4.
I want to take Cleveland so damn bad because I love big money, but
so
it's hard to get from Boston.
All right, let's look at the West. I want to see the Thunder, Rockets, Grizzlies, but I still think, believe it or not, to me, because of their experience and their ring and their starting 4 of their 5, I'm not going to give you Brown, but I'm going to give you Porter, Gordon, Murray, and Joker. I think it's Denver and Oak City for me, even though I want it to be Oak City and Houston or Memphis.
I'm all in on Oak City. I know they're a young team. They still have to prove it. I think they're the best team. I think they're better. Oklahoma City, please.
So when we come back, we'll look at tonight's NBA. Several games, very exciting. We'll see who the Prime Minister likes. We'll break down all of the games and any other news we got. We got some player news on top of that. Duke the 1, Houston the 2. They're the two best defensive teams in the country. I want to see them play for the right to go to the Final Four because I think that would be a kick-ass game.
Duke is really great on both ends of the floor. They can score and they can defend, and that's why they win by big numbers all the time, because they're really good on both ends of the floor. I don't trust Houston's offense.
Ferrall Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
I talked about AZ Fun a lot, folks, and said when she got back from that knee injury, remember, it's the second ACL tear she's had in her career, that she was going to be a difference maker. UConn is plus 330. They're not going to get challenged again in the Big East until they come out of conference play in the conference tournament. I still like them at plus 330 to win a national championship.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
I feel when I look at this Arizona team, I don't take them serious as a national title threat because you're asking Caleb Love to bottle magic that I just don't even think exists.
4.4, 6.6, 7.4, 7.7, 7.8. This guy is literally he'll shoot you out of games, Kevin.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
Two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take. Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity. I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results.
What? How do you do this once?
Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
I don't know how Rybread hit that shot. And did he clear that tree from that? His feet were below in the bunker. The shot was above his waist, and he used a fairway wood to do it. And his feet slid all over that bunker. I cannot believe he made that shot.
Well, you said it, Scotty. Hey, let's go from Rybread to Ryan Ginger. PGA Tour. Man, these guys are good. Like, that shot was unreal. Like,
there's
any
your
other
boy
hacker breaks his leg.
Ace Ventura with a nice shot next to the stick.
Golf detective? Ooh, the golf detective. I got him 85 to 1 first-round leader. Carver, can you bring it home for me with the kids at Great Wolf Lodge? Ooh, I need the golf detective, Scotty, big time.
All right.
Let's go.
And then your boy Yager Sloggers one off the pace. All right, tonight's NBA with the Prime Minister. Chicago's at the Knicks, at the world's most famous. You see the line. A big number here. Do you think the Knicks can handle it against the lowly Bulls?
I do. I like, we talked about this game with Paul Bovey last night, me and Gabe. We're talking about the over. If OG doesn't play especially, there's no defense in that game. I know it's a crazy high number, 243, but give me the over. I think the Knicks will get it done. I'm not sure if they're going to cover that big number. I prefer the total. Give me the over.
Memphis is at Indy. Marvin Bagley will make his debut for Memphis. The Pacers are getting 2.5 at the Fieldhouse, 250 and a hook.
What do you think, Scotty? I have a lean to the Memphis right now. You got an opinion?
Look, I mean, I love Memphis. I really do. But I think Indy tonight at home getting 2.5, Siakam, Turner, this team, they're playing good ball. I like the Pacers at home tonight.
Interesting. Yeah, no, I think Memphis will be a popular play. I usually go with the home dog, so I might have to ride your wave there.
Boston and Philly, Jrue Holiday should return after missing the last 4 games. They're laying 7.5, 225 the number. It's on TNT at 7 at the Wells Fargo in Philadelphia.
Give me the dog tonight. I know Boston's a way better team, but I think it's a closer game than people anticipate. Give me the Philadelphia 76ers to cover the number.
I like the Celtics to spank that ass. I think they're going to destroy them. in Philly. I think the Sixers are worse than my rec team, and my rec team's undefeated for 4 seasons in a row. I think we could beat the Sixers. I really do. I'm not even kidding. And we score more than them, too. Orlando's in Atlanta. The Hawks are getting 1 at home. 222 and a hook. I'm going to take Franz, Don't Call Me Wagner, and the Magic and Banchero at State Farm in Hot Town. I like the Magic.
Conducting things with the Wagners, I'm with you, buddy. Give me the Magic, too. I'm with you on that one.
Cleveland's in Brooklyn. I'm going to go with the dog here with the 13 because of their defense. The Nets actually play D, and they're at no sleep till in the Barclays. I think they got a shot tonight. Cleveland wins. They don't cover the fat sticks.
I like it. You know, you're coming back to playing. It's one of those things. Cleveland will get it done, but ask them to win by margin and over 10. I think Brooklyn just covers and loses by about 8. Scotty, I like your play.
Milwaukee's home at the 5 serve against the Clippers. Everybody's on the Clippers. They're favored by 2.5.
Not me.
I'm still taking the Bucks tonight, even though Bobby Portis loves painkillers.
He does. I love painkillers. Bobby Portis loves painkillers. Everybody, let's do it. 1, 2, 3, let's go. We can do this thing, Scotty.
Do you remember Judas Priest? Do you remember Judas Priest? Painkiller.
Morency, he had a poster of Judas Priest when I went to his place in Montreal back in the day. That guy's you know him. Give me the Bucks.
All right, let's go to Charlotte and Denver at the Ball Arena in the Mile High City. 17 and a hook. I'm going to go LaMelo Ball again in Bridges with that big fat number. I don't think the Nuggets will cover.
I couldn't care less about the back-to-back struggling. Give me the Hornets again. I had them against the Lakers. Let's go for 2 stings, Scotty. Let's go Hornets.
The Suns are playing at the Moody in Austin. You heard me where KD played basketball at Texas. They're in the Longhorns Arena tonight. The Moody. Phoenix laying 2.5. No more Wembanyama. He's done for the year. I'll take the Suns.
So will I. The sun will shine. KD in his old stomping grounds. Let's go. Big day for Durant.
Lakers are laying 1 at the Moda in Rip City against the Blazers. Does LA bounce back from last night?
I don't think they do. The Portland Trailblazers are one of the best home dogs in basketball. I've been riding them forever, and I'm not getting off now. Give me Portland. Let's blaze one.
I think the Lakers get their act together, and I think Luka has a big game. LeBron and Reeves as well. Give me the Lakers.
Slow play drum beat grows louder and louder every week to the point now that they're making overt references to it on the broadcast.
So there's plenty of other guys that have to get faster. Tom definitely is more deliberate in his conversations, always has been since he's been on tour. I just think about Joe Scavern, when those two started working together, how their conversations always seem to just keep on going and going.
The Smiley Show, only on SportsGrid.
At some point, these 80s are to learn, we don't need to hire ex-NBA guys. I need guys with college experience, who's gone out and recruited, who know how to develop talent. NBA guys with no college experience don't work in college basketball. I understand they run NBA-style offenses, but it doesn't mean they can run college programs.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
But if it ends up being 1 versus 2, which seems likely because the Cavs had a 5.5 game lead over Boston, the Celtics 3 games clear of the New York Knicks.
They're not unstoppable, not running away with everything, but for them to blow a 5.5 game lead on the backstretch in the NBA, already being a quality team outside of disastrous injuries, I don't buy that at this time.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
Patino himself, in a clip that we just played, said basically the stats are not backing up the team's wins.
St. John's is offensive glass. That's where a lot of opportunities for St. John's came from. St. John's does not shoot the basketball well. It might even be fair to say they shoot it poorly. They were 3 of 16 from deep last night. But it doesn't seem to matter to them.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.